But I want you to think about one aspect of it. What is the state and the quality of life of this person? Or what was the state or quality of life of this person? What's his entire lifestyle? Not a self-torture. Poor fellow, he did not even have time to sleep. And therefore he was catching up shitting on his seat. Some slot from every patient. No? But because of his predictive precision algorithms, no, still able to make up the performance. So was it not a self-torture? Was it not a self-torture? But the point is that, and added to that, if you see, it is not only the self-torture for him, it is a self-torture for all the students also. Is it not? Because who knows if you have gone off shift or you have taken a break and this person speaks some phenomenal revelations, no? You won't be able to catch it. No? You miss it. No? So then they have to be on guard always, you know, that what he is saying, what very expert personality. It is self-torture for him. It is a self-torture for all the students who take admission in homeopathy. Because there is a great acharya like him. You know? Like that. And it was a self was it not a self-torture for all patients also? So cursed you are if you get diseased. Cursed you are if you want to heal the disease. And cursed you are if you become an expert in disease. Welcome to the material world. So what we discussed is just a stratified sampling of a much bigger situation. Because in any field, every field, we find some or the other acharya like that, who makes sure that the life of everybody around will be completely ecstatic. Who makes sure that the life of everybody is going to be completely ecstatic. Like that. So our devotee friend, he was studying his MBBS, and then he was telling me that, Prabhu, so I was telling him, so whenever I used to, whenever I used to watch him, every time he would say duty, day duty, night duty, every duty, you know. I said, when do your duties end? And he was telling my duties will end when I pass out MBBS, you know. So he said, why? Because in their writing, I'm talking about Bharati Vidyapeeth Hospital and College, Pune. To be very specific. Uh, so he said, no, we are second year, you know. So many times the seniors, it is their scheduled duty, but we are supposed to do it. So we're supposed to do our duty and senior duty, you know. So it's like that, you know. And uh, and he was like that, you know? And he was very enthusiastic in spiritual life. So what he would do is that in between duties, he would go to follow up and come back. Huh? He would do follow up to MMC, come back. Huh? Like suppose he has off from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So he would do MMCs and come back. 7 to 11 again he has duty. Huh? In between he would take an off for dinner, do some MMC, take dinner and come back. Huh? Because many times we sleep early, but in general people they don't have much time problem. Huh? again he would go for duty, no? And in between again he would come back in the morning to morning program and go back. No? And he would say, so then I would say that, when do you, he said, sometimes I catch up, 1 2 days a week in the job by Krishna's mercy, that time I catch up. The question is, did not set also. I've seen my own father. He was working in electricity board. He's an IIT Roorkee pass out. At that time it was University of Roorkee. Degree that is University of Roorkee. Later it became IIT. So he's an electronics engineer, integrated from University. And he is working in the Uttaranchal Power Corporation. So, uh, so he retired as a superintendent engineer, uh, and now he's retired. But while he was working, his lifestyle was very peculiar, very. So what he would do is that would come back from his office around 8 o'clock. So, 8 o'clock, so he would come back. And then sometimes he would teach me. And then he would not teach me because I was school going those days. And secondary school. So he would teach me for an hour or so. And he would not teach me, he would be roaming around the campus, outside. And many times he would teach me. 9 o'clock he would take dinner and take rest. 9:30, 10, like that. Sometimes I remember mother would switch on a movie on the TV. And as soon as the cast, before the casting would end, he would sleep. Typical pattern of India. He would sleep. The movie would end by 12:30, and in the ending also there is a casting. No? At the end also there is a casting. No? Some kind of names they show and all that. No? Like that. At the end, by the time the ending casting happens, you wake up. No? He'll go. By that 12:30. From 12:30 to 5:30, you'll be keeping roaming around. In the house, not outside. Now in the house, various rooms of the house. So when I became a devotee, it was a big problem for me because of his interesting patrols, night patrols. So it was our morning wake up time comes in his patrol time. So, it would be a problematic scenario. And then 5:30 would be seen sleeping around in the drawing room somewhere here, there, the sofa, the divan, somewhere, like that. 6:30, 6:45 again he'll get up. Then he will go out for a walk. And 8:30 would go to his house. Like that. So I was seeing my father from a long time. And but I was not understanding what is happening. Only when I became a little older, then I could understand what he used to do. What he used to do. So my father, what he would be doing in the night, roaming around. So he was an electrical engineer, electrical power supply, the distribution department. So there is 880 kV, and it step down to 440 kV, and then these transformer substations, like that. Many times industry requires a hotline, means a high grid line. So there are some dedicated lines for the industry. A high grid line, so high voltage, 220 kV line or 130, 132 something. 220, 132 kV, like that. And so these, there is, and the whole left out. So it's a whole network, and it is starting from, okay, wherever there are power substations. So it's a hydro power station. From there, the power is coming. And then it is being distributed, say, whole of Uttaranchal, previously to Uttar Pradesh, one thing. So then there are some stations are coal, power generation from coal. Some are power generation from hydro, it's a dam. Like here is the power generation from hydroelectric power. There are some places in the plains of the Pradesh, there are these thermal power stations also. It's not time. So So then the whole thing is, and now what will happen is that because this is India, a lot of theory is happening. So people do theory of electricity also. Quite common. Industries also do that. So now my father was in charge of distribution. One of his duties was rate duty. He would go to the power transmission stations. Any problem in the power transmission, the transformers are there, step down transformers were there. So he would be visiting all of them and checking all parameters and all that, and everything is there. And he would be doing raid on the industries. So in the night he would be meditating which industry to go and do raid. So the chances of success are more, So whole night you will be wondering, roaming around, calculating, okay, from this substation, this much power generated. And here when I went and did reading the power reading of this, and if this was here, that much was there, there is some loss in between. Where did the loss happen? There are 25 industries, tuck, 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 and power is going, many times electricity calculations are three-phase complex calculations, complex number calculations and all that. So his mind would be absorbed in the meditation of this kind of complexity whole night. And when you would get an answer, by 5:30 in the morning, you would get when you go to sleep. At 6:30 is enthusiastic to go for ready. And sure enough, catch one, put up a ready, catch another, put up a ready. That was his ecstasy. So like that. So he would do actually the job of three posts, the salary of a single post. That's how my father was. Yeah. So because government sector, so there will be less people, and government sector like that only. So many times, many years they don't do recruitment. So and posts are vacant. So he would do the job of three posts, a single person salary, single post salary like that. Uh, you may say now from a work point of view, you may say, wow, what a passionate example, super example, उसे खतरनाक इधर से उधर से इधर किसको पकड़ लिया बराबर पकड़ देते हैं कैलकुलेशन से है ना सब हवा में चल रहा है ना and if you see in night 1 o'clock roaming around he'll be looking hallucinated, his vision is somewhere in the air, and उनमें से दिन में चल रहे हैं क्या like that one may feel like that sometimes. So he'll be like that, and now from one angle we can say yes, super commitment to work, what dedication, what dedication, and what a passion, But from a practical angle, we can also say, what is that person? This is nice. What is that person? So, and he would always keep telling me, this was the interesting part, not so interesting part, uh, he would always keep telling me that you see, to your academics and to your work, you need to be dedicated like this. I would be, poor guy, like this, beyond my capacity. You can salute. Very difficult to follow. Like that. So I remember when I got this admission into IIT, we were going for our counseling in IIT Delhi, and father was giving a service to me. He said, you see, just getting admission in IIT is not sufficient. You understand? I said, okay, understood. He said, like this will not go on. Somehow or the other, you got admission this time. But in future, it won't go on like this. That's what he would say. So I was wondering, okay, now admission, let's see. By the way, so I had 717 rank, 717. Prelims it was 7474. Mains it was 7. So like that. Well, 7 but that was the rank. But anyhow, my father was telling this won't happen now. IIT is a big place. So you need to be really geared up now. No? Now dealer does performance won't happen. No? And I was listening, the whole counseling 2-3 days, what he was telling. And then when I was thinking here, this whole counseling. Huh? And then he was telling me that you see, you have to really study hard. Really study hard. So, okay, I'm okay for it. I'll try my best. No, try my best. You have to study very hard. To clear the benchmark. And then I was saying, no, I don't want to get the benchmark. So he gave me the benchmark. His benchmark was every day I have to study 10 hours. Self study. Every day. Otherwise, no hope and no school for you. Like that. Every day I have to study 10 hours. So, and weekends, 14 to 16 hours. Weekdays, 10 hours. So I said, okay, I came here, I did calculation. Those days the classes used to happen from 7:30 to 5:30. 7:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m. 12:30 to 1:30 break. You know how many hours? 7:30 to 12:30? 5 hours. And then 1:30 to 5:30. 4 hours. So I became very excited. I said, yes, it's possible. Weekend it will be a fight. But weekdays, very nice. I thought, okay, very nice. And generally, first year, 36 contact hours, no problem. No, there is not a single slot is empty. Second year also like that. Third year, some slots are empty. Fourth year, mostly empty. Fifth year, no classes only. Yeah. That's KGP's scenario. I believe similar kind of situation. So, uh, so I thought very nice, 9 hours. So because of IIT mercy, I'm studying. 1 hour I am studying, no problem. So I thought very nice. I can to participate in robotics also, and I can participate in Spring Fest also, Tech Fest also. I can take up some extra research project also. And I wanted to learn swimming. I can do that also. I can play hockey also. And I can learn some martial arts also. I was really excited. Like that. My father understood my processing. So he said, not like that. He said, no, after college I was 10 hours. And after college I was 10 hours. My God. Means 5:30 to 5:30 to 30. Right? So if I take 1 hour break, practice for Prasad, dinner and snacks, 5:30 to 3:30. So I was trying, but I was failing so miserably. And and I was trying, but I was failing so miserably. Very miserably I was failing. I was not able to come up to the standard. 10 hours and all that. And I was wondering, hey, this is super torture. Super duper torture. And I was feeling miserable. I used to feel that I will fail. Because my father knows this from IIT only. So he knows what is the required and all that. I will fail in the exam. I only got solace in my life when after first semester I got 9.3 with all my theories. So then I understood. My father's algorithms are too high and okay. I cannot follow. I need to devise my own algorithm. Like that. So is it not self torture? On it, like that. Ah. So so many times life is like that. Practically like that. Then I remember we were in third year, and there used to be 5 to 6 subjects a semester. Uh, Three of them having labs. A typical lab assignment would be for a period. All three subjects will give labs. Means and a typical lab duration will be one fortnight, and uh, and it would take minimum 100 hours to complete the labs. 100 hours to complete the labs. Each. So, because many times they would not tell anything. So 100 hours. Like I remember it was a course on, like I'll give you an example. It was a course on networks, say for example. The networks. And in the lab, we were supposed to make changes in the Linux kernel. In the Linux, Ubuntu kernel code. The kernel code we were supposed to make a change so that its network properties change. From how to do a switch and to a bridge and those kind of concepts are there. Means network architecture changes, and that particular terminal acts in very different ways, like that. Nobody in IIT taught us what is Linux kernel coding, how to boot a Linux kernel coding. Anytime we would ask, professors would say, "You are CSE guys, you will figure it out." Yeah? So figure it out. You are bold out, all night out, still bold out, like that. So this is just an example which I am giving, not like that. By the way, there was one particular assignment in this, which was 1 month duration. I still remember that in our whole batch, you know, in our whole batch. So even today in CSE there are 120 students. Around 60 of them would be 9 points. Around 60 of them would be 9 points, and above their CGPA. CSE is like that always. Uh, uh, so our batch also like that. And around 40 others will be above 8.5, and around 20 will be transcendental beyond all modes candidates. So their acharyas are different kind. Like that is CSE generally. So so even after this kind of configuration, none of us were able to crack it. None of us. Institute rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With the were all in CS. Still we were not able to crack it. The deadline was 9 a.m. particular day. Till 1 a.m. on that day itself, uh, nobody had done it. Some of somehow our IR1, there's a son of a professor. So we had some professor contacts, some pass outs, some Bangla pass outs, like that. Some of them, somewhere in Carnegie Mellon, Stanford, somewhere, one of them released some answers, like that. By 9 a.m., all of us had submitted the assignment. We got good marks. so, so our case would be like that. And now, how to manage 100 hours? How to manage 100 hours? So, practically, in the whole duration of CSE, I never saw 6 hours of sleep also. Because the point was, one time Gaur Sundar Prabhu came and he was looking at me. He said, "You sleep late, I have heard. How many days you're sleeping at 1 o'clock, 1:30?" I said, "Yes, Prabhu, sometimes. So, what to do? My karma. He said, "Okay, how frequent is that sometimes on a weekly frequency?" So, I said, 5 days. Huh? That was how our life was, what to do, like that. So, but then this would be so torturous. And then we would have feeling that okay, then why to give up or why to lower down the priority of spiritual life? Because in the material world and material studies make you squeeze out so much, huh? Then you used to think, okay, no problem. So sometimes we would work and nicely come for the morning program, attend the full morning program, take breakfast and take rest. Regulated like it. You know? Like some days, or some days. Why? Because now you may say why? Because the whole well, you can design easy assignments also. Like in your STW, you will see similar courses, but assignments will be easy, and you can really shoot, like that, and things can be balanced. But I don't know what the, but this was the case. This was the case, like that. So we see that life is quite torturous in that setting, quite torturous in that setting. Anywhere and everywhere, this is the scenario. So I passed out, I went to Bangalore. My company in Bangalore was one of the coolest companies, everybody else would say that. And I also would feel and accept it before I got job. No? So after I got the job, I understood. So what was my company timing? Very regulated, no problem. You know, 7 o'clock the bus would come, shuttle would come. 10 minutes it would take to walk. You know? So 6:50, 6:50 a.m. I would leave from our yoga, where our devotees were staying, boys or base, like that, and walk. And same Aarti would be going on, I would be packing my tiffins and leaving. That way. It was just the end of the morning program. And after that, there was only two pranam. So I would do pranam before okay, about to do it. So 7 o'clock schedule, 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 20 minutes it would take to reach. Okay. So this was near Enhanced Vasandra, that was Whitefield. Company was Whitefield. Bangalore. 25 kilometers. 1 hour 20 minutes or something it would take to reach there. So out of 1 hour 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour I would sleep. 1 hour there. And return, I would catch a shuttle of 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. There would be hourly shuttles, but I would catch a shuttle of 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Mostly 10 p.m. I would try. So it would take 1.5 hours to reach back. Bangalore city is also translated to city. Uh, Anywhere to anywhere you want to go, it takes 1 hour. Nowadays it's not like that. My time and 2007. So it would take 1 hour. Now anywhere to anywhere maybe 2 hours. Bangalore city. Sometimes some spots from one place to another place takes 5 hours. Bangalore city. So anyhow, so it would take 1.5 hours. This 1.5 hours I would sleep. Like that. So that means if I would reach by 11:30, you try to sleep by 11:45. Make some arrangement, clothes, pressing, all that, whatever. And washing, this, whatever. And sleep. And then I would try to get up by 2:30. So my alarm would ring from 2:30. By 2:50, 2:55 at least I would get up. So I had big, uh, nuclear bomb type of alarms, to wake me up. Shake me up and wake me up, like that. So 11:45 to 2:45. How many hours? 3 hours, right? 3 hours. So 3 hours here, 3 hours, So why? Because I used to try to complete my 16 rounds before I leave for company. And there was no cook, so we had to take turns in cooking. Some day cooking sabjis, rice, some day making chapati, some day, like that. Different, all of us would take turns. So every day something would be there. Like that. So half an hour, 40 minutes would be there for that. Then Mangalarti class, nursing at the time, not like. So I would pack my tiffin. So my tiffin would include breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because 11:30, if I come back and then take prasad, it would be too late to sleep. So regulated. 1 hour in the morning, 1.5 hours bus journey coming back, so 2.5 hours there, and 3 hours in the night, 5.5 hours sleep I would get. Regulated there. This was the coolest number. That's why according to all the devotees who were placed in Bangalore, this was the coolest company. So what is hot there? If this is cool, then what is hot? Sometimes, uh, sometimes we are too much fascinated about the glamour of things. So I will go to the hub of technology where everything is, like that. And but what is hot there? So I'll tell you what is hot. One time, so one of our devotees, he was working on a deadline in a company. So he had 104 that day in the morning. He was trying to get up for Mangalarti, he was not able to stand. He was taking support of door and all that, so he was not able to stand. And he was not understanding what's the problem. So other devotees found out the wheels, the complicated test, and all that. He found it is 104. And he told him, don't stand up. Sleep. So then again, 8:30 a.m. he was not trying his best to stand up, and he was saying, now what are you doing? My phone was over. He said, no, I'm standing up to go to company. It's a deadline. And he said, forget it. 103, 104. Forget it. 103, 104 will go to company and work. He said, no, they'll kill me. He said, who is that rascal? Who is that boss manager? Like that. So he snatched this phone. We called his manager and said, "Hey, 103 cannot come, okay? And don't give any arguments or any reasons, I have some domain feelings, okay? We'll contact you after it becomes all right after 5 days, Arrange that." Like that, we gave him a message, We didn't hear what he was supposed to say, Like that, So he got the message that this, his team member is 103, 103 years, 103 years old. And in 40 minutes from that point of time, an ambulance came with two ward boys, like that, and they came in, they barged in the house, and then they said, "Where is this guy?" They were showing the name. "Where is this guy?" Some of our duties is here, poor fellow, They said, "Okay, आप लोग पीछे हटो सब लोग, and they were showing all of us off, and they put him on the stretcher and they were taking him, And then you were wondering, "किधर लेके जा रही है इसको?" किधर लेके जा रही है इसको, He said, "No, we have orders to discuss with the management, no company management, कहते कौन से कंपनी मैनेजमेंट उसको मोबाइल भी ले गए और नंबर तो मोबाइल में ही था we called from his mobile, we were not knowing his manager's number. So they took him, so and we had no clue what is happening, what is going on. They just took him, We thought उसको हॉस्पिटल ले गए, इतना भी नहीं था, मतलब घर पे भी हो जाता है इलाज वगैरह, where they took him? They took him to the company, not to the hospital. So they taken him to the company, and they had put nurse and ward boys, something, for his care. And doctor would visit twice a day in the company. And the company, and they were giving him medicines and all that. And they had made वो होता है ना hospital seat ऐसे करके ऐसे हो जाता है You can lie down in this fashion, and they had put the laptop in front of him. Whenever he would be conscious, he would shiver. And whenever he would be off, he's off. Medicine effects, he was getting one or three serious, like that. So and saline and everything is going on. IV is going on, saline is going on, nurse is coming. He said, "No, you work, no problem. As long as there is consciousness, you work. So, you work, like that. He came back after 5 days. Yeah. And we were all having a relief, thank God he's still alive. So this is called as dedication to work. Which people or this is called as passion for working. What do you call that? This self-concept. That is why in the proper state, material life is impossible. Another one of our devotees, he was also CC passed out from PhD. He was working in Oracle, and and his company would leave him after the morning program. She would come at 8 a.m., take prasad, sleep, take lunch, and go back. Come back after the morning program, like that. So this type of a deadline phase comes in companies 3 times a year on average. It may last for a week or 15 days or so when they are really intense about things. And this devotee, he was telling me that Prabhu, I've been working. So first day, second day, third day, like that. And it's 3 a.m. in the morning is working, And you'll be saying, Prabhu, my whole body was burning. I don't know if you have experience of this kind of a work like whole body is spinning as if there is fire in the entire body. I'm not speaking theories. There is fire in the entire body from the tip of the finger to whatever, this point. There is fire like that. There are tremors of fire. And like that here. There is such a pain as if you feel like cutting off the muscles. Eyes are burning, cheeks are burning. Like that. And you have to work in that. And if you sleep, somebody will come and bang you. Hey. Like that. There is such a passionate atmosphere of that. And he would say in between, he would somehow take say 3 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning, working from 12 noon, onwards to 2:30 a.m. in the morning, he would take off in the name of coffee or something. You don't take coffee, but he would take a break for 10 minutes. And in that break, he would say that, okay, Prabhu, I would open up some proper book and read one page. And he said the feeling was as if rains of nectar are flowing down the entire burning body. Like that it is the feeling. So this is typical company life. Typical company life. I remember in my old company, also there was a deadline one time. So I was only 9 months in that company. After that, one time. So, so there was one deadline phase. In this deadline phase, I would also go for the morning program directly. So I would leave from the company at around 3:20 or so. I would reach by 4 o'clock, take a bath at 4:20 or so. Then I would attend the full morning program, take prasad, uh, take 1 hour rest maybe. 9 o'clock I would leave back again. So day 1, day 2, day 3, day 5, day 6, day 7. Day 7. The devotees came to me. So initially day 1, day 2, I would sit and chant. Hare Krishna, Manipura, like that. Day 3, 4, 5, I would stand and chant. Day 5 onwards, I had started walking and chanting. Because this was day 7. These devotees came to me, and the devotees there, they came to me, and they were telling Prabhu, please go and take rest. Please go and take rest. Money to. I said no, I will chant. They said no, Prabhu, please. We're begging you, please go and take rest. I said, no, Prabhu, these material people, they make us love like anything. Why only spiritual life has to be compromised? इतना कर लिया उस momentum में थोड़ा और कर लेंगे. Icing on the cake, what is the problem? So they said, then these 2, 3 devotees were there, they called me and they were holding, they were saying, please, and then they said something which, which made my processor to, so my processor not working so much, but Sundays they were using. Which made my processor to, to churn. They said, Prabhu, we are not telling for your sake. We are telling for our sake. Please go and take rest. मुझे प्लीज गो एंड टेक रेस्ट इतना नहीं समझ में आ रहा था बट फॉर आवर सेक ये क्या हो गया ये कौन सा प्रॉब्लम है इट्स माय चैंटिंग इज प्रॉब्लम फॉर देम व्हाट प्रॉब्लम then they started explaining and Prabhu all of us are horrified because when you are walking all of a sudden you are falling off 40 degrees fall off हो जाता है कई बार and sometimes you are banging against the wall and we are afraid you will fall on us so we are really horrified so at least for our sake please go and take this like that then I understood Vaishnav Seva higher principle than Sadhana I went into this okay. Like that. So you see the point. Now, what is this due to? This is due to the courtesy of company life. I remember some of you are there. I was telling you about one devotee got a job in Trilogy. So he was jumping up and down. Okay, flexi job. Flexi job and all that. And he was saying, good for you, flexi job. I said, you also have regulated, but you have flexi job. No problem. So first day he went to company at 12 o'clock. Then he said, came back at 4 o'clock. 4 p.m. I said, my company very cool, you can go anytime, all flexi, everything, no problem, they are fully adjusting and all that, So, okay, very nice for you. Next day, he went at 1 o'clock, afternoon, came back at 3:30, like that. Third day, he went at 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., came back at 4 p.m., It was an ecstasy, seeing him, you were also an ecstasy. भाई किसी का तो अच्छा हो रहा है बैंगलोर सिटी तो इससे किसी का तो भला हो रहा है अच्छा so we were happy in his happiness The next day he went at 3 p.m. and he came back at 7 p.m. Not the same day. The next day. Hello? The next day. Hello? Hello? Then he realized, when he came back at full realizations, he said, Prabhuji, इनका जो शो का है फिक्स्ड टाइमिंग उसका पर्पस समझ में आ गया विद रियलाइजेशंस ना तो क्या रियलाइजेशन था रियलाइजेशन कंपनी का क्या था फ्लेक्सिबल ना एनी टाइम यू कैन कम उसका पर्पस क्या है योर कमिंग टाइम यू डिसाइड योर गोइंग बैक टाइम यू डिसाइड जब आ सकते हो नो प्रॉब्लम लेकिन आ गए तो छोड़ेंगे हम अपने एल्गोरिथम्स लाइक दैट ना this is working like what do you call this self also you know one time I was talking to my mother at 1 o'clock in the night 1 a.m. you know I was in the company you know my mother was asking how is it going and all that you know I told her I'm still in the company this is how it is going my mother said very good you know I felt very good you know यहाँ पे mother walking it out was the pain in my body and mother saying very good you're working very nicely continue with the same fervor you know material world is like that you know that is why she was saying you know and material life is impossible so when it comes to material life now we may think okay we are getting up very early in the morning you know one time one of our brahmachari strict brahmachari you know strict man you know the morning program which are strict man you know everybody will tell hey you came late you right you know punishment petition whatever way we take it as uh, petition prayer appeal desperate appeal punishment whatever way we take it as like that strict man would get up the first one to come to the temple hall 4:30 morning program 4 o'clock in the evening single day so he went to one of his relatives home after many years you know so when he went to his relatives homes his sister she had 3 daughters you know? So he had his sister had 3 daughters. So so he got ready at around 3:45. He got up or so to get ready by 4 o'clock, like that. When he got up, he saw all these 3 daughters, 3 little girls. All of them were awake. One of them was ready. Second one was in bathroom. Third was ready. You know? The first little daughter, the youngest one of them, she gets up early every day. She used to get up at 3 o'clock. And 3:30 she would be ready to wake up the second one. At 4 o'clock you wake up or sometimes by 3:45 the third one will also get up like that. Why? Because their school was starting at 6:30 or something, and it was a long drive. So that tempo would come at 5 o'clock. So so they had to be ready by 4:30 or 4:40 or so. All of them, like that. All three of them, little girls, little girls, 6 years, 8 years, 9 years, like that age, little girls. They were getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning before him. So when this Prabhuji came back, the Prabhuji was sharing his realization. He said, I got humbled. I was thinking, what an austerity I am doing. So see, one angle to take it as a torture, but there is another dimension of torture. When you take it up as when you take up a torture, thinking like a torture, then you feel very great about it. I am such a macho man that I did it. I am the one who is able to do it. Every single day. Like that. So he was on this side of the coin. Like that. Every single day. Like that. He was on this side of the coin. And then he seen little girls. उसका दूध का दांत भी नहीं टूटा है. She is getting up at 3 o'clock. And then she's saying, Uncle, आज आपको लेट हो गया उठने में. Krishna has amazing algorithms to make everyone humble. Whoever it is, like that. And so what? So we see this is life. Is it not? This is what life is all about. Is it not? Every single aspect of life is like this. Now, In Calcutta, Sialda market is one of the very famous wholesale vegetable market. Sialda market, for the entire Calcutta. Even when we have Kartik Yatras, where even 10,000 devotees come, the sabji vegetable purchase happens from the Sialda market. So devotees come in truck, load the vegetables and take back. And the prime time where you will get the most fresh vegetables is 2:30 a.m. Prime time, most fresh, best cost, best quality. So I remember Kartik Yatra, our devotees were going, and they would leave with their 7 p.m., 8 p.m. They would leave Mayapur. Mayapur to Calcutta is 4 hours drive. It's 2.5 hours by train, but it's 4 hours drive. And night, all trucks and everything is allowed, so it will take more time. 4-5 hours it may take. So they would leave Mayapur at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. to be there at the prime time to get the prime quality. So 10,000 devotees we consider. 2:30. If you go there at 2:30, 3 o'clock, you will see as if it is daylight there. See all the market. Check it out. 2:30 ऐसे लगेगा दिन के 11 बजे हुए ना, ऐसा हसल बसल, ऐसा बार्गेन चल रहा है, सब ऑफर चल रहा है, न्यू स्टॉक्स आर कमिंग, स्टॉक्स आर गोइंग, पीपल आर दिस दैट, and so what do we call that? Yeah. So we see life in general, uh, uh, life in general brings a person to the stage, uh, to a very impossible kind of state. You cannot give it up. You cannot take it in also. So many, many devotees want to take jobs in PSU companies. PSU public, semi-government PSU companies and all that. And they say, okay, very nice job because not much work and stable job, no question of performance. Like a Lala, you can live good life. Like people say like that. So many core sector jobs are PSC jobs. One of the very interesting aspects of PhD jobs, whether it is PhDL or it is Core India or anything like that, is that it is shift jobs. Shift jobs. Initial 5-6 years, shift jobs, compulsory. After that, if you are fortunate, maybe some relaxation. And the interesting kind of shift allotment is like this. 2 days it is A shift, 2 days it is B shift, 2 days it is C shift. Fourth day is the holiday, seventh day is the holiday. So what is A shift? 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. What is B shift? 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Sorry, what is C shift? 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. 2 days A shift, 2 days B shift, 2 days C shift. Seventh day enjoy. Holiday, like that. These devotees I have seen who undergo this phase. These devotees cry after some time. Their body stops giving any sensation. They do not get any sensation. They say, Prabhu, we don't understand when the body is giving signal to sleep, when the body is giving signal to wake up. खाने का, hunger का, सोने का, the body gets completely confused and stop giving signals. The body becomes like a vegetable. The entire body becomes like a vegetable. This is true of every PSU company. Every PSU company. So what do we call that as? What do we call that as? Like this, we can actually go to any working sector. Any working sector. So I'm not just speaking about medical or IT or core sector, any sector is like that. You say merchant navy, sometimes one of the top jobs, the top company comes here is was that time it was its name was France Ocean. You will be in the middle of the ocean completely in trance. That was the idea. Highest package that time, and the other average was around 14 lakhs. This fellow was giving 25 lakhs. Trans ocean, eight trans on the top of the ocean. Now, just imagine you are at a place, it's the middle of the ocean. Anywhere you look around is the ocean. You look down, it's the ocean. You look anywhere at the ocean, no land. static है ना, oil है, it's oil refinery, I mean, it's oil boring, plant, इसलिए static है, it's not a ship, like that type of job, static, ship भी है तो भी पानी पानी दिखाई देता है, like that, and they would keep for. Now that company was giving 25 package. In the package story, they said, okay, we will be 7 months working, 3 months, 5 months holidays. 7 months working, 5 months holidays. Because what very months? See, was that? Full salary, 12 months. 7 months working, 5 months at home. Full salary, 12 months. Like that. So people were very excited about it. Then they took job. Those who got job, later they were crying. Why they were crying? The story was what? The situation of that refinery and all that, I mean, the situation of that plant and all that is such that, because the doctors say that if you put a person more than 7 months, fatal diseases will come, cancerous, carcinomas, the entire atmosphere is like carcinogenic. The entire ambience and atmosphere was carcinogenic. So, which means what, you stay more than, keep a human being more than 7 months, the next 7 months slots you won't survive. I mean, you won't be there, So, all his experience will go in vain. That's why they would give him 5 months holidays, So, this is how it is, and even merchant navy, my uncle was from IMU, Indian Maritime Institute, Calcutta. Not in many branches, but Calcutta is main. Previously, it was called as Marine Engineering Research Institute, Uh, so, our Bhakti Padma Saurabh Parivrajaka Maharaj, is from there, he has been very instrumental in preaching very massively here at Bombay, that type of, he's a very glorious disciple of Gopal. So, so my uncle, he would be like, so 3 months, 3 months, 8 months, no, so 8 months on ship, 4 months holidays, like that. So 8 months on ship, 4 months holidays, Now he would tell me his state. So now, so he purchased a car, So he learned driving. By the time he learned, he had to go on ship, 8 months on ship. And by the time he came back, he forgot. पूरा लाइफ तो इंजन रूम में बीता है, क्या करेगा, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, so one time, and engine room is completely ecstatic. Engine room is 45 degrees centigrade. Ship का जो engine room होता है, maybe getting a salary, maybe getting a salary of 3 lakh, 4 lakh per month, but life is very exciting, 45 degrees centigrade, 12 hours job, shift, you have to be in the engine and be available because anytime machine है ना, कभी भी कुछ भी हो जाता है, machine also becomes exciting, symptom of its ecstasy is that in terms of dynamics it is static, everybody else is jumping around onto, like that. So that is the kind of job. So 8 months, 4 months. So it took him 5 years to learn driving because वो भूल जाते थे ना फिर अगेन 15-20 दिन, 1 महीना करके प्रैक्टिस किया थोड़ा सा, तो थोड़ा हाथ में पकड़ आया, डुक डुक डुक, by that time would go, come back like that. Many years. Now you tell state of affairs. So what would happen? So he purchased a home also, wife was like 2 children, one son, daughter, like that. So one day he was sitting with me. So I said, Uncle, you're enjoying the holiday. Good time, dollar time. He said, I am in full ecstasy. I'll explain you what kind of ecstasy I am in. He said, see, 8 months I am not there. So all my family members, that time nobody was there. My chachi was also out in her car. Son was also out in his bike. And daughter was also out in her scooty. And uncle was sitting in the home. I happened to visit the home, so I got him. So I was sitting. So he was telling, full realizations. He was telling, देखो क्या है? कोई भी नहीं है घर पे, So he's telling 8 months I am out. So they have to manage without me. So they have got used to being without me. They have got used to being without me. He's saying now I'm here. So because their lifestyle is, okay, they all have their chores. Abhi isko jana hai, aana hai, aana hai, jana hai, jana hai, aana hai, So whole day they keep doing in, out in, and whole day I'm watching. जा रहे हो? और भी जा रहे हो? और भी आ रहे हो? अच्छा, और भी कौन सा जा रहे हो? So, just having kind of a ghost existence here, with all these fellows, whole day they're out, whole day they're there in their own work, like that. So you see, this is life. Yeah? In that we see Krishna consciousness is a shower of nectar. Krishna consciousness is actually a shower of nectar. So, which can make, one day I remember in HSBC, so my boss used to sit next to me, and he had come from China, and he had his favorite idiosyncrasy, it is called. Idiosyncrasy, people speak some slang, they have a typical habit they keep repeating. If somebody keeps scratching, it's the same. Somebody keeps saying, so it is idiosyncrasy, So, every now and then, his idiosyncrasy was what? Every now and then he would be sighing, and he would be, just moving his head from left to right and say, "Oh man," "Oh man," every time, So I thought he has a habit of saying like that, One day by mistake I asked, "Hey, हम हमेशा ऐसे करते रहते हैं, As if you are sighing for something, As if you are sighing for something, you are, in deep, moroseness, and किसी ने पिट पाट दिया आपको या कुछ tragedy हो गया आपकी life में, like that, So I hope everything is okay. मतलब यही रहेगा लेकिन बस मैंने पूछ लिया ऐसे, गलत सेंस से मत लेना. He said, no, I know you are my friend, चलो, it's properly taken, You compile teacher कर लिया, like that. Then he started telling, oh man, what to tell you, I said, you can tell it, sir, I am worthy of confiding in, He said, no, you are my friend. But oh, and he started telling. He said, let me give you an advice, man. I said, okay, give me advice, no problem. Say, please take it seriously. Please take it seriously. वही कौन सा एडवाइस देने वाले हैं ना चाइना तो नहीं जाना मुझे चाइना रिटर्न चाइना जाने का कोई प्लान नहीं है राइशा को ब्रीथिंग का भी चाइना में कोई प्लान नहीं है तो फिर पता नहीं कौन सा रेवोल्यूशन देने वाला है he said never marry your life man your life will become very miserable oh man then I understood oh man क्यों चलता रहता है it was not an idiosyncrasy it was his everyday experience practically in my uh, 8 months association with him. So I had heard this thousands of times. Like we chant Hare Krishna, कुछ भी हो जाए तो Krishna Krishna Hari Bol, like that he would be, just sighing his head. Oh, that was his case, like that. Every time he would give me an advice, never marry, never marry. You'll be completely like me, like that he used to tell me, and then this is how it goes, This is how it goes. Now, what do you call it as? People think a married life is very great, very wonderful, a divine day when I get married, and so on and so forth. Material algorithms are impossible. One day he came, he was dozing off while working, This was 9 a.m. 9 a.m. dozing off, And then whenever he would get up, he would look at me. Dekha ki nahi isne, Unfortunately, every time I was looking at him. Whenever he would look at me, I don't know what was going on in me. Not that I was just zooming on him. I was doing my work, but even just this, no. So what can be done, And the other problem was that in the whole chamber, all were girls, Was the only Prabhuji, So my orientation was what to do, at least we have to save ourselves, So whole cubicle, like so looking at it, and every time dozing, at 10:20, he got up, and he was, standing, moving his head here and there, and he said, uh, and he said his favorite dialogue, oh, no. Then I went, at this time, I looked at him, I said, is there any problem? Any physical problem, or, you need some medical help, or, anything, so he said, what to tell you, So what was the thing? He said, my kid. Acha. Oh, kid. So what happened to the kid? Is he okay? He said, he is okay, I am not okay, So why not okay? Why not okay? So then he was telling that my wife, she has gone to her mother, and left the kid with me at home, Now, and then I said, so you must have had a nice time playing around with your kid, He said, no, that is not the point, He said, this kid, is completely unpredictable, Yesterday night what happened? 1:30 in the morning, this fellow got up and started crying. And started crying, Then I said, then what? So then what? My whole sleep was disturbed, I said, oh, sorry for you, Then what, He said, then what? He had crying and he had passed stool and urine and everything, So I had to change all his clothes, I had to give him a bath, I said, okay, it must have taken half an hour. He said, no, it took 1 hour, I'm not used to, I said, oh, sorry, I said, after that you got sleep? He said, no. I said, then what? Now, after that, what happened? Now you scream, no, the child. He said, no, after that, this fellow got hungry because he passed through whatever he did, he has gone out, now he's still again hungry, So I had to cook for him, so something, whatever, cerelac or whatever, milk or whatever, and then feed him, And I could not sleep all night, And I cannot tolerate it, I can't work, man, like this, I'm going, I said, sorry, go back. I will manage, everything. But today she will team. You go take rest, Like that is come tomorrow morning. If things are okay, or if you want to take it 2 3 days, that's okay. Like that, So this is material life, So what do you call it as? Is it not torture? So our deities are much better because deities have a very regulated time of waking up and sleeping. The deities will never disturb us in the night. Lord Jagannath is very merciful, much merciful than the baby kids and all that, So the question is, it's torture. One sense you can say yes. So in that sense, we can see material life. So therefore, the point is what? That we have too much of a fantastical idea about what life is and what life can be. Because the whole knowledge about so too much of a fantastical idea, therefore proper to say material world is not a place for a gentleman to stay. Well, not a place, not real. So much of uh, so much of a so one has to face all that, In front of that, if you see spiritual life, it is a walk on rose petals. Sometimes the person is, the children, their nature is what? The child may be 4.5, 5 years also. Still the child wants godi. If you put them down the godi, they start crying, even a 1 year child weighs 15 kgs. 12 kg, 15 kg. When they are born, they weigh 3 to 5 kg. They are good. 2.5 is a threshold of health. Below that, it is. So, like that. Sometimes children, born children are also 5 kg, like that. In 1 year, they become 12 kg, 15 kg. 12 kg is heavy. No, 12 kg is heavy actually. And if you have to live for 5 hours, it is very heavy. So, or from that to 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, 25 kilo, So actually, it's very torture in one sense, not like that. The children like that, And then this child is in the body, and And this day the both the child say, Papa, Papa saying, "हाँ बेटा क्या हुआ?" "Susu." अच्छा सुसु आ रहा है? ठीक है, जा रहे हैं, नहीं, क्या कर दिया? This is material right? No, otherwise, this is not. So, therefore, this material world is not made for chill. This material world is made for a grill. So this material world is not made for chill. It's made for grill. So that is a point. No one can be scot-free in this world. No one can be scot. Sometimes people think, oh, I can enjoy this world. No, who will stop? Who will stop? The entire body machinery is such that we cannot enjoy. Some people, they're foodies. They like to eat. 1 year, 2 year down the line, they become Humpty Dumpty. So one may say very good health. But along with that health, free gift, one dozen diseases. Obesity, one dozen diseases. And then they are forced to be on diet. It is so painful. Otherwise, they will die. Because otherwise, diabetes is going on a high note, and there is a risk of heart attack. Uh, uh, and uh, yeah, diabetes, heart attack on a high note. Then they are forced to not to survive, to live. They have to be on diet, and it is so painful. It is so painful. So this body is such that nobody can enjoy. Can anyone? Possible. Not possible. Not possible. This material world, the setting of this world is made for grill. The material design of the material body is made for grill. So therefore, the question is not whether one is working hard or not. Sometimes, oh, the devotees are working so hard, they're getting up early in the morning. What about the materialists? They're not sleeping only. No, at least as a devotee, we are getting up early in the morning. The materialists, they're not sleeping only. I remember, voice was not there. Our time we were devotees. I used to meet my friends always, every day. I was such a duty-bound friend. Even after I became devotee, I used to meet them always every day and say hi to them and have some discussion. What time? 4 o'clock. Where? Bathroom. They would be going to sleep. And they would be coming to the last. Just to the washroom. They're going to sleep, and I would be getting up to take bath and go for Mangalarati. Fixed time. So like that. So whose life is miserable? So the point is not austerity. The point is not hardship. Hardship and austerity in material world compulsory. The world is like that. The whole space-time curvature of this world is like that. If you want to understand in physics terms, the equation of the space-time curvature of this world is like that. And everybody has to foam in the mouth. Everybody has to work hard. Everybody has to work hard. And the setting, the engineering, the machinery of our body is also like that. Like there's some machinery, you don't move them, they become jammed, they get spoiled. Like car is like that. If you don't use it, it will get spoiled very easily. You have to take it on a drive, then it will go for long. Our human body is also like that. Don't move it. You don't move it, it will get jammed. All like that. So therefore the question is not austerity. The question is not hardship. The question should be for what cause. If it is a glorious cause, it is wonderful. That sweat, that toil, that bloodshed is worth it. Isn't it? In fact, if it is for a good cause or a higher cause, even in material terms, forget about spirituality, even in material terms, when things are for a good cause, even on material terms, then that is what we call it as love. When the mother is waking up at 5 o'clock, this was the father, so it was a different story. The mother is waking up at 1 o'clock in the night to take care of the child. The mother is not cursing the child. No? She is ready for that. And the child is also ready for that. Sometimes you see, okay, we are in the engineering college, the parents are coming, the train got late, it is coming at 1:30 a.m. Will we not go to the station to pick them up? So now we know. So will it not be an austerity or a torture in one sense? Yes, but because it is for a higher cause. It is not just for a video gaming cause. It is not just for a girlfriend cause. It is not just for a pornography watching cause. No, it is for a better cause, material terms. No, so that is why you call it as love. Juna. That's what we call it as love. No, that spirit to sacrifice. So therefore, husband will not mind working for 12 hours, 14 hours. Our fathers have done that. Why? So that they can take care of us. We can get good education, fooding, housing, and all that. So in fact, when we see that austerity is being done for a higher cause, that is, when the child is passing school, mother is feeling very happy. Why? Because she understands that the food is getting digested, my child is healthy. Is it? So she is happy. Not that, अरे सत्यानाश हो, no? अपना भी कपड़ा खराब कर दिया, मेरा भी कर दिया. No? Not like that. No? A neighboring auntie के ऊपर किया तो ऐसा reaction आएगा. No? Mother? No. Is it not? So this is how we understand. So this is the. So therefore we see that the little bit of stretch which is involved in spiritual life is actually a glorious opportunity by which we can show to Krishna that Krishna, this is your place in my life. आपके लिए इतना तो बस. अभी लोग लव स्टोरी बोलते हैं, वो लस्ट के लिए देश से चांद तारे तोड़ के ले आएंगे, you know. That much they are ready to do for the sake of lust. लव तो नहीं होता मटेरियल, लस्ट ही होता है. For the sake of lust, that much they are ready to do. Little bit here, there, here also, is it not? Little bit here, there we can also. Right? So little bit about little bit here and there we not like that. So therefore, sometimes the Lord is saying, okay, if you can realize the importance of it, you will be happy doing it. If you have a little less quantum of realization, then one can tolerate it and do it. Understanding that it's a medication. Sometimes one is on IV, say suppose one has got dengue, 3-4 days one will be bed rest, maybe, like that. And if the platelets are going down beyond the threshold, then even more serious, So 5 days it will take. 5 days it will take. There is no 4-5 days. The jaundice one has got 7 days it will take. Nothing one can do. So 7 days one has to get medication. और मैं सुनिए मुझे कूदना है, इधर जाना है, जो भी करना है 7 दिन के बाद ही होगा, ना? वो भी धीमे धीमे होगा, ना? The body will come back. So one can take it as a meditation also. So for some, they like philosophy. Immediately they can relate with it. So philosophy is like playing cricket for them, no? क्या connection point होगा, 8 point, 0 point by point. So they explore like that, But for them, RP may be a torture. So what to do? Just tolerate. Understanding it is a risk. For some, Arti is expressing, Hare Krishna, like that, no? Class may be a torture, no? Just tolerate. Understanding it to be a meditation. As soon as the body is overburdened, as soon as the body comes to normal health, spiritual health is awakened. Now, it will be an ecstatic. Like that. For some, both class and Arti may be a torture. Prasad will be the only ecstatic moments, no problem, Still tolerate, So like that. So that is how we can begin, because we can understand that the meditation. We can understand that is the meditation. And yes, devotees don't watch movies. It's true. But devotees don't watch movies. So, no, but there is a great reason behind it. Yeah, there is a great reason behind it. Devotees don't watch movies. I because devotee's life is more thrilling than a movie. Oh. That's the reason. The devotee's life is more thrilling than a movie. It is so thrilling. It is so amazing. It's like that. So therefore, the movie scripts are quite routine and monotonous. Anyway, they don't have good scripts also. No? But when it comes to the mission of the Lord, when it comes to the preaching mission of the Lord, it is so ecstatic that it's much more powerful and throbbing like a movie. You know? Yeah? You see Srila Prabhupada's life? She's not such a powerful thriller. Old man, 70 years old, you know? Thinking and dreaming of going to America. To turn the lifestyle of Americans. You know? Is it not? You know? And making it happen. And still, and the body having full limitations on the voyage, having somehow or the other surviving with two heart attacks, and then the landing with no money, nowhere to go, not knowing whether to go left, right, where to go. And so many places, so many times, and then making it happen in the next 10 years, landing up in making 108 temples. 103 of them in the Western world, only 5 in India. Robert times 103 temples were in the Western world. 103 temples. What kind of temples? Like Bhaktivedanta Manor, Billions of dollars worth of property. Fisher's Mansion, Billions of dollars. New York Manhattan Street Temple, Bhakti Center. Uh, no, even Boston. Boston Temple is a small temple, like this building only, 4 stories, Hey, same. The temple is smaller than ours, Similar building, 4 stories, Boston Temple, What is the cost of that property? It is on the most costliest street of United States, one of the most, Commonwealth Avenue, check it out, Massachusetts, $30 million is the worth of the property, US dollars, One may say, charge story ka chota sa hai, $30 million, Proper landed up in all this, You see, proper landed up in all this in 10 years. Therefore, many times in management colleges, they teach Prabhupada's life as a case study, entrepreneurship case study. Entrepreneurship case study. That. So we see, devoted life is like that. And if you see, how, uh, uh, you know, uh, one guy in the Western world, he wanted to commit suicide. He thought, ठीक है, चैन से मरने जा रहा हूँ, शुगर है Western world में, So he sat on the railway track. Because he knew 9 p.m. the train will come, Western world, India नहीं है. So he went 8:30 only and sat. क्योंकि मैं चैन से मरूंगा, He was meditating, वो हो गया like that. Meditating. ट्रेन नहीं आया, लेट हो गया. 9 बज गया, 9:05 हो गया, 9:10 हो गया, ट्रेन नहीं आ रहा था, Western world, and he was wondering, चैन से मरने नहीं देते लोग, She was wondering, he was throwing stones here and there, not able to tolerate, मरना चाह रहा हूँ, मरने नहीं दे रहे, मरना चाह रहा हूँ, मरने नहीं दे रहे. So throw stones here and there, I see either say he was catching anything and storing here. Nobody was there, It was completely dilapidated, deserted. Who is throwing stone here and there, फिर हाथ में कुछ आ गया, लगता है stone तो नहीं, it was not looking, feeling like a stone. Then he's looking at it. What is this, He saw it in the book. So the book कहाँ से आ गया, And book was issued by श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद. He thought anyway time है बहुत, अभी क्या करें, ट्रेन तो आने लगा है, time pass करते हैं, He started reading, He sat near left side, he started reading. Read a few, read a few pages, he got inspired, In the meantime, the train also got inspired to come, But he was reading, he was finding it interesting, so he got up and went on the side. The train went off, So he read, became a devotee. Is it not dramatic? Just this year, in Boston, we met one book distribution team, Suresh Prabhu, He was from Atlanta, So he was in Atlanta, he was doing his graduation, in Atlanta, and he was completely druggist. He was a psychedelics, almost, whole day, every day, very psychedelics, completely drugs, stoned to drugs, like that. So one day his landlord threw him out of his contract of licensing got over. They threw him out of the house, with his bags, and he didn't have money to pay them, So he thought, "Abhi kya karu, So he was forced to come out of his samadhi, psychedelics, and he was wondering, "Abhi kya kare?" He was smartphone, you're looking for friends, contacts, and all that. Either क्या करें ना? So one friend he called up. He said, थोड़ा जगह दे दो कुछ दिन के लिए, ना? Friend said, ठीक है, आ जाओ, बहुत जगह है, ना? So friend called him, went to Atlanta. So what was it? It was an ISKCON temple. Atlanta, ISKCON, Georgia, like that, So he went there, 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, he liked it, So he liked it, So he continued to stay there, And then he told this was 1.5 years he was introduced to the process. And he's a devotee, standing 16 rounds, doing everyday morning program. He's on a mission. He has a bus, and he takes that bus all around America. He goes, he's distributing Prabhupada books. From 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. he distributed Prabhupada books. In 1 week they cover 3,000 books, like that. So he and one more partner, like that. 1.5 years standing 16 rounds. What did he see to book is no? And dramatic. So Krishna consciousness is like that. And then you can see, we can see the so life is very dramatic, The other day I was telling you about Russian Protestant church, So the Protestant church was envious and they wanted to ban ISKCON's Bhagavad Gita as it is. And they agreed to fill the ears of the government. The government issued a ban on Bhagavad Gita as it is. And our devotees sent a telegram, to all ISKCON centers to appeal. And all devotees are appealing. Then I told you we also were doing a protest at the Russian consulate, all of our devotees, and and we were doing 6 hours we did Harinam Sankirtan, And our Harinam Sankirtan was featured in BBC, CNN all over the world, I was telling you the other day, like that. And because of that, so because of that, and there was this Russian, what is that? What do you call it? This ambassador statement, But I have never seen such a sweet protest. I was unable to believe that this is a protest, And I was watching with my eyes. Is this a protest? Really? Pretty sweet. You wanted to come and dance with us. So something like that, And because of this, devotees, this is our way of protest, If you are happy, we chant Hare Krishna. If you are protesting, chant Hare Krishna, like that, This is a devotee life, The Russian government was forced to take off the ban. That was just before marathon. I was telling you, 5 times the book marathon scores increased in the world that year because this happened in November end, and we didn't have to tell people, that this Bhagavad Gita, this is what it contains. They used to see that and they used to say, oh, Russian, Protestant church, please give it, Kya hai iske andar, That Russian government also could not ban it. So you're not feeling, Isn't that feeling? So like that, there are hundreds of episodes, In tomorrow's breakfast, we can keep talking about it, Uh, but like there are hundred Krishna consciousness is external, Therefore, there is no need, अभी क्या रहता है वो सुबह रोटी का जरूरत उसको पड़ता है जो बेचारा 2 दिन से भूखा है पड़ने वाला है तो किसी ने 2 दिन पुराना सुबह रोटी दे दिया बहुत कृपा हुई आपकी ग्रेट मर्सी 2 days sugar roti as brittle as the teeth will break like that but in this kind of scenario somebody gets an opportunity to get a ghee paratha with so that is the point. When we say give up, that give up is super roti because what we are getting is a thrilling lifestyle. Pure, thrilling, adventurous, and sure shot success guarantee. Whereas material world is not thrilling, it's thrilling. Degraded trajectories, and 100% success not guaranteed. Isn't it? So that's the point. Here's some thoughts for you to mention. That's how we are today. So that is why you see, we began with that prayer, We began with Vaishnasan, where it says, it says the material world is coincidence, Therefore, you see, the whole idea or the question is wrongly framed, The question should not be about spiritual life. The question is about material life. Material life is absolute 100% pure self torture that takes away freedom. One is made to be a slave. Where a person doesn't even have time to eat. Person even doesn't have a time to sleep. Person even doesn't have a time to cry. Because वो cry करेगा तो वो काम का target complete नहीं कर पाएगा. Person doesn't even have a time to go and commit suicide. मरने जाए तो किधर जाए? That is the kind of steam which material world brings a person. So therefore, here, Anand is saying, at this ocean of material suffering, and I am swimming in this ocean of material suffering and do not know any way out. Oh Lord, you are the only hope. And your lotus feet, and that I have got Krishna consciousness, that is the only scope and hope. Maharaj Kulashikara still says in his prayers, Charana Saroje Kanti Netrami Shamamasi Gujar Vichi Vyakule Gatam Hari Sarasi Tejo Chala Oga Bhava Arupakanna Klesham Atyadajami. Kulashikara Maharaj is telling, I have become exhausted, fried out, dried out, burnt out, being in the furnace of this material world, where there is misery and greater misery and greater misery. But today, I am going to give all that up. And I am going to go. I am going to go. I am going to enter the cool, chilling waters of the lake of Lord Hari. The lake of Lord Hari, never to get out. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki. If you have any questions, we can take it up individually. So let's start with Saban and take up questions. There you go.